Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Hannah and let's get into it. I don't really know how to start this. Hi, I used to upload videos throughout my youth and then on and off as I became an adult. You might be subscribed to my channel because you already know that. You might be stumbling upon this video for the very first time and be saying, what the fuck is she even talking about? Things have changed for me. And I wanted to kind of make a little video addressing it and talking about why I'm back and where I want to go from here. I made a lot of videos when I was very, very aimless in my life, when I felt very purposeless, when honestly, just to be fully transparent, it felt kind of like social media was the only way for me to ever be independent or sustain gainful income, gainful employment of any sort. I've dealt with a lot of mental health conditions and things and undiagnosed still physical things. And for a long time, I just thought there was nothing else that I was going to be able to do, let alone wanted to do. So I pushed myself and I tried to make content and make videos and take photos and play with the algorithm and figure out what was going to work for me. When in reality, I was just so uninspired by my own life that I unfortunately think it showed through in what I made and the kind of stuff I was doing. Now, I was here and thought this was an option for me because I like making videos. I like the process of filming, not so much the process of editing when it's my own face and my own voice, but I'll get over that. I like the art of making. I like the art of editing sometimes and posting, and I like the conceptualizing and the branding, and the behind the scenes stuff has always been really fun for me. So much so that like I could have seen myself going into marketing for a while. And I think part of the reason I took a step back was because I put too much pressure on it. Instead of just being like, oh, I enjoy this thing, this is a hobby for me, this is a thing I like to do, it turned into, this has to work for me or I have nothing else. There is nothing that I can be proud of or excited about in my life except for this. This is it, and I have to do it or I'm going to be a failure. And that was a little too much pressure to put on a hobby. On like a casual, like I like to do this sometimes hobby. And that's why I stopped. Because it was too much. It was too much pressure. And when I first started to feel like there might be a way out for me, when I started to resolve my PTSD that I was dealing with, when I was getting really serious into, at the time, I was getting an associate's degree. I completed that degree process and I was like, fuck, I can do this. I can do more with my life. Fuck this. I don't need this anymore. I don't want this anymore. And I completely like slowed and then dropped it. And I was so proud of myself for not needing it. I have come back here and there since doing that with a little thing here and a little thing there, but every time it almost felt forced. It almost felt like something, again, I needed to be consistent with and keep up with, because like I am interested in marketing and I'm maybe not interested in like implementing my own marketing strategies for myself, but like it doesn't matter if you want to go into marketing, like you're gonna need proof of concept and this and that and the other, and like it just again became convoluted. It became too branded. It became too overwhelming for a hobby, for a thing I just want to do because I want to like do it sometimes. But why am I back then? I can hear you asking me because you're me and I just said it out loud. Why am I back then? Ultimately is because I have a goal and I might not accomplish that goal specifically. I might veer off into this direction or that direction, but it's a path that allows me to just enjoy, just simply purely enjoy the things that I enjoy. This can be for me fully for the first time in my life. This can just be something I do for my own records, for myself, and put it out there publicly because I do have people that I've cared about over the years that have watched my videos and that I'd like to connect with again. I can write again without feeling the pressure of I need to publish 2 novels by the end of the year or I'm never going to make money in this. I can start taking photos again without feeling like I need to sell myself as a professional photographer and be taken seriously in the craft that I've dedicated so many years of my life to. And if this doesn't amount to something, then I'll have nothing and I'll be a failure. Why did I go back to that so often? But I don't need it, is the point. That's not something that I need in my life anymore because I have this other path, which is what I hear you asking, which is not a sentence. However, the path that I have decided that I'm excited about and I'm moving towards is something that's been building and I've been learning more about over the last 5 years. I never took the plunge because I have never had confidence enough in myself and my own decisions, but we're there, baby. We're fucking there, baby. I have finally broken into the medical field, which is something that I have always been interested in. Not necessarily from a feeling of like, oh, I want to help people. I'm so excited to help people, which like gives me imposter syndrome because that's like most people that get into the medical field, I feel like, but we like don't need to get into that. The reason I'm really interested in the medical field and I've always kind of seen myself moving in this direction is because I am fascinated by the way that the human body and human brain, I guess biology in general, just how it works. The fact that it's all mechanical processes that we're just trying to figure out by reverse engineering it in most instances. We didn't build any of this. We're just seeing something and trying to figure it out. And I kind of love that process. And I'm kind of drawn to how little it feels like we know, even though it is ourselves. I'm enamored with the idea that we are just figuring it out still as we go. And I can't wait to hopefully, and this is kind of where we're going, dig into the data of different studies and different marketing campaigns regarding medications, drug trials. We'll get further into it, but this is something that I've been thinking about and daydreaming about without even knowing this is what it was for a very long time. Right now, I am a pharmacy technician. I am working with compounding sterile IVs and medications. I'm working with filling, we have Pyxis machines, with different medications. And I am currently in school to get my bachelor's degree in graphic design while also getting a certification through Coursera in data analytics, because the goal is to get into pharmacy analytics, specializing in data visualizations. Now, all of that is very like, what the fuck is she talking about? And maybe I'll get into it more in other videos, kind of what it looks like, what I'm hoping, how I'm planning to do this, what direction I'm moving in. But ultimately, like, I would love to move into possibly, theoretically, maybe biotechnology. That's a little further down the line though. That's kind of one of those like, oh, wouldn't it be nice? But right now I'm like very actively working towards becoming a pharmacy analyst with a specialization in data visualizations. Meaning crunching the numbers, looking at the numbers, and then making them look real pretty and presentable for people that don't fucking understand any of it. I spend a lot of my days working, of course, full-time, doing my schoolwork, again, full-time, and then in any free time I have, looking up SQL queries, and I'm trying to figure out how far I can take Power BI. I'm working on maybe making like a little portfolio to show different visualization techniques and how my eye works as far as color theory, and it's overwhelming and it's stressful, and I'm back because I have that path and I want to remember the steps to get to wherever it leads me, I guess. I have a goal, I have a plan, and I'm executing it every single day, hoping, well, I guess maybe not every day. Maybe I do fall asleep early some days. I've been getting up at 4:30 a.m. like the last month. So I do be napping. I'll give you that. But otherwise, I'm here to not worry about the length of my videos, to not worry about the SEO, to not worry about my niche, to not worry about what kind of creator, lifestyle, niche creator. I'm not interested in pigeonholing myself, but I'm also not interested in sharing everything. That's the line I've always had trouble finding. I don't want to be stalked. I don't want you to know where I live, where I work. But also, like, I got a lot of hobbies and they do be rotating. And like, will I be a pharmacy tech for the next like 5-10 years? Probably not. I have other things that I'm working towards. So I don't want to like be the pharmacy tech YouTuber. Though I do think it would be beneficial to show people this is what it's like. This is what I'm doing. I just made a video, what I have in my bag, so that hopefully if you are starting as a pharmacy technician, you'll have a little bit of understanding. There's a lot more information out there about being a retail pharmacy technician rather than being a hospital pharmacy technician. And I love watching videos about different jobs. I love, especially if I'm starting a new job or getting in a new direction, like, give me some of that info. And I couldn't necessarily find what I was looking for this job. So I do want to make that in case, but also I'm losing the light. Wah, wah. Thanks for coming with me on this journey where we're just here together having a good time. If you were here in the past, thank you so much for being patient with me and maybe watching me grow up, maybe being here for some very vulnerable times of my life. Before it gets too dark, I hope you have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you the next time I upload or you watch my stuff. Bye.